Hey everybody! We're about to hop into our first adventure, which I've entitled Ogre and Ogre. But as always, before we do, we're going to introduce our heroes here. So first up, without further ado, we have Tizix joining us again. Hello, Tizix.
Oh, hello. It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you too. How have you been?
Oh, well, I've been following along. I talk to Zuzip every now and again to keep up and doing some personal, some training and it's just trying to find ways to, be a better person. Though I've heard that there was someone who's looking out after me, a bee detective of some kind. I don't know what that's about.
Really? Looking out after you specifically? They're trying to find you for something?
From what I understand, it wasn't me particularly, but maybe I think he's after Zuzip, but wants to go through me.
I imagine with Zuzip's, there's so many Zuzips and only one Tizix. I imagine a lot of the time they turn to you. Even it's probably easier to find you than it is to find a specific Zuzip that they're looking for.
Yeah, it's really tough. I don't even know all the other Zuzips that have been going around. I try and find them and make friends with them as best as I can because that Zuzip and I are old friends before I died and then came back and then all this other stuff. Oh, I'm sorry, I was distracted. But yes, it's really interesting and it's the best I can do every day to try and be a better buddy.
Self-improvement's really important, Tizix. I'm glad that you're taking some time to try and train and to better yourself. That's a great ambition, Tizix.
I'm going to hop back into it. That was the joke because I hopped.
I liked it. I liked it, Tizix. Welcome back. It's good to see you again. Next up, we have joining us Jade Twilight. Good evening, Jade.
Good evening.
Jade, I heard a rumor. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but is today your birthday, Jade?
Maybe. Even though Satara's really going to be mad because I was actually supposed to be being a decoy for a heist, and you called me.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. We had a lot going on tonight. There's a lot that needs your attention. I know, again, I know you said maybe, even on your birthday, you've been forced to come out and work. So I hope that it proves to be lucrative for you tonight, at least, since you're giving up a big heist with Sotaria.
It better be. Also, do I smell a bunny?
Say that again, Jade?
Do I smell a bunny?
Yes, one of your adventuring companions, Tizix tonight, is a Bunnyfolk.
Oh. Drat.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. Jade, do you have a history with Bunnyfolk of some kind?
Other than that, they're delicious.
Oh no. Well, we'll worry about that when it comes up. Jade, try not to eat your fellow adventuring companions. As of course,
yeah, I know the rules.
Welcome back, Jade. It's good to see you again.
Thank you.
Next up, we have returning once more, Lorquin the Unkillable. Welcome back, Lorquin.
It's good to be back.
It has been some time since Lorquin has made it out into the field of battle, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, it's been a while, yes. I've been catching up with a few old acquaintances and meeting some new ones.
Oh, that's pretty good. Did you find any success in attempting to sort of track down those lizard folk that you were looking for? I believe it was a group of lizard folk that you were searching for, yes, Lorquin?
It was, yes. I did manage to track them down and I have confronted them. And, well, I've not killed them. And, in fact, quite the opposite. I'm now teaching them the ways of the good.
Wow, this is quite a change, Lorquin. I know that this was often, for a very long time, a quest for vengeance for you, but you've learned to kind of forgive those that took your master away from you.
Yes, I was really angry, but it's time to forgive and teach.
That's well, that's very strong of you, Lorquin, to be able to forgive him that way. Well, what can I say? I'm very impressed. How long have you been teaching the band of lizard folk?
It's been a couple of months now.
Well, I hope that things continue to go well, and I'm glad that you were able to find this reconciliation after all this time.
As am I.
Welcome back, Lorquin. It's good to see you also just out in the adventuring fields as well. And last but not least, we have Odowodus joining us, the Sassy Tree. Hello, Odowodus.
And how are you this evening?
There we are. I'm doing quite well. How are you?
I've been doing well. I went back to Root for a little while. It was good to take a bit of time after what was quite disturbing.
What was it that disturbed you so?
I do find it much more pleasant to be fully in control of myself.
Yes, I can certainly understand that. Well, it's good that you've had this time of rest so that you're more prepared. You definitely don't want to be, don't want to be going into the kind of dangerous situations that Bartholomew puts people when you're not at 100% sort of mental strength.
That ghost was annoying. But we beat him.
Sassy, that's for sure. But you, Odowodus, were definitely more sassy in that instant, as well as, I guess, all of the masters. It's rare to see Odowodus, to see you without the rest of the masters.
We do take time and go off on our own. After all, such a critical amount of sass can only be handled in small doses.
Of course. And it's important to be well-rounded and to have time to meet some of the other adventurers around the lands of DnDTime. So I certainly respect that, Odowodus. But it's...
In fact, I think I remember this Bunnyfolk over there. I know it didn't really last very long, but I have this vague memory of perhaps my Bunnyfolk companion on my shoulders? Everything was a little topsy-turvy. I think we were in some very strange mansion.
Ah, yes. Halloween was a dark time. I'm sorry, could you say that again, Tizix?
It was really scary. Here, if it helps you remember, and Tizix will jump up on Odowodus's head and kind of turn in a circle a couple.
And as Tizix settles into Odowodus's bows, I believe that is where our adventure will begin, with the four of you stepping into Bartholomew's shop. As you enter in, Bartholomew greets all of you. Greetings, adventurers. It's quite good to see all of you. I have an assignment for you this afternoon, if all of you are prepared.
I'm looking forward to it.
This is quite good news, because it's a bit of an odd case. I don't know if I personally have ever heard of anything quite like this before, but there are a couple of ogres in one of the towns outside of the small kingdoms. They've been setting up a bit on the outskirts. They've set up something of a fortune-telling business. Ogre and ogre fortune-telling is specifically the name. I've not known ogres to be great diviners. Of course, any creature is capable of learning any skill, but it is quite odd for creatures usually known for their brute strength. But their fortunes have been very reliable, from what some people have been telling us. They are 100% accuracy, which I don't know if I can even boast. The problem is, and why the nearby town did hire the four of you, is that while the fortunes are accurate, there's been a disproportionately large number of the fortunes that are predicting certain death. So they wanted you to go and investigate.
Fun. Sounds like I get to
Strange.
try my new toy.
Perhaps you may need it. I know that you recently acquired my katana. And Bartholomew seems a little bit upset about losing his katana, which you now have. But he goes, well, if you don't have any questions, I'll get you right there. There's actually a teleportation circle pretty nearby to where they have all set up. Going once, going twice, and Bartholomew snaps his fingers, and all of you find yourselves suddenly displaced and standing near the base of a hill. Behind you, you can see that there is a pretty humble-looking town, a very just kind of typical-looking medieval village. You're probably not a kingdom in of itself, but just like a small proxy of one of the small kingdoms within the small kingdoms. And you're at the base of this hill, and higher up at the hill behind it, there's a forest, and you can see that there is a very large cart. There's a couple of big oxen that are pulling the front of it, and there's a line up in front of it. It's getting near towards the end of the day. The sun is starting to go down, and standing at the front of the line and seeming to almost kind of be bussing it, there is an ogre. He's dressed in kind of long blue robes. He's wearing kind of a silly wide-brimmed hat that kind of veils a lot of his face from here. But there's a bunch of people that are walking up to this cart. On the side of it, you can see the plain text is written ogre and ogre. And as all of you are kind of coming to on this teleportation circle, you can see a human woman that's kind of walking past you who greets all of you. Good afternoon, all of you. Are you here to have your fortunes told?
In a way, yes.
I just got my fortune told, which some people are saying that, well, it's a little bit too dangerous to use it, but I was told that, well, I would receive a brand new hat tonight. So that's pretty exciting. It's supposed to be a pretty valuable one, too. I didn't expect the fortune to be so specific, but I was told that I was just going to be given a hat by a kind stranger. Not all that bad.
No, that doesn't seem bad at all. How is the fortune told? They don't read palms, do they? Because I don't have those, and I'm going to show off my little bunny paws.
No, they don't read palms usually. Well, Dr. Mystery, that is. He does, I've heard he does do some palm reading, but he has a lot of different ways of telling your fortune. He mostly just asks you a lot of questions about what you're interested in. I actually went up, I wanted to hear about my relationship. You see, there's someone that I kind of like, and I kind of asked about that, but he didn't have a lot to say about that, but he did say I'd get a hat.
Interesting. You say he sometimes reads palms? What?
He does palms.
Why would
Gold bones,
he
tarot
want
cards.
to read those sorts of trees? They only have leaves way up top.
I don't... Well, I have to be going. I need to run into... well, I have a hat to get tonight. And she kind of skips off. You can see not too far on the hill away from you. Like I said, there's a line. You can see maybe like a teenage boy who's sitting there with his like hands over his face, just looking downward, completely just. He looks like he's just seen the mark of death, the face of death. Yeah, that's the kind of the situation. What would all of you like to do?
I'm going to approach the teenage boy.
All right, yeah, he doesn't, you go and kind of stand over him. He doesn't look up at you. He just has his head in his hands, and he's kind of like looking down. Skin's very pale. Already of a fair complexion, but just ghostly white.
What is wrong, young one?
Hi. Oh, I was just thinking about how I was going to spend my last few moments.
What do you mean, spend your last few moments?
Well, I went up to get my fortune told. I wanted to ask about, well, whether or not my business, I started a business venture recently. I wanted to know if it would be a success. And Dr. Mystery told me it wouldn't matter because a tree is going to fall on me and crush me tonight.
Well, do not worry not. I have no intention of falling on you.
Oh God! He says he sees you. You kind of walk closer, and he sees your tree form getting up there, and you see him just turn around and start sprinting away. Like, I'm not ready yet.
No, it's okay.
Yes, and he's long gone.
Man, I was trying to pick his pocket. Hello.
Go ahead and make me a sleight of hand check, Jade, as he's running away. 14. As he kind of like turns around and is backing up, there's just a quick hand in the coat pocket, and you can pull out it looks like he's carrying 3 silver pieces and a business card for the fortune tellers up the hill, Ogre and Ogre. The 2 O's and Ogres have like big like kind of divining eyes on them, and it's all written in black and very like the background is black and it's all very like mysterious font.
Do you think we should follow him?
Nah.
I think we should go to the ogres, but I will not be talking. My experiences kill first, ask later.
Fair enough. So one of you said, is gonna head up the hill?
I'm going up the hill. I'm not sure about the rest of them.
Okay.
I don't trust these people. Fortune tellers are all the same. Blatant cutthroats and thieves that only try to take people's money, and I should know. I used to be one.
In that case, you go up the hill. Like I said, it's getting on. It's getting on in the evening, and a lot of the people in the line as you get up there. There's 2 people up ahead of you, and they are looking. They're looking pretty nervous as they're stepping on the. As they're kind of stepping out of line, you can see another person that's just walking out. The next one kind of pops in, and the person that walks out, you can see they're just like beaming and grinning. Whatever their fortune they got must have been pretty good as they step out of the fortune hut whistling. There's one person in line in front of you as you're waiting. The ogre that's kind of like bussing and bringing people in and out, that's standing on the outside, comes up to you, and he goes, "Hello there, welcome to Ogre and Ogre Fortune Tellers." Looking to you, Jade.
Jade's basically looking at him, like really like sizing him up, looking up and down. Okay, what's your deal?
I am Brendo, my esteemed brother, Dr. Mystery, tells fortunes for people from all over the world. He's never gotten one wrong. Ask the people of this town.
I'll be the judge of that. Fine. How much is it to get my fortune told? Even I don't believe into him.
Oh, the price? It is expensive because, well, Dr. Mystery is always right, and to know the future is a great boon. For no less than 10 gold pieces, will he be able to read your fortune.
Jade is rolling her eyes so hard right now because she's thinking, wow, I used to do the same stick back in the day, but I don't do this thing anymore because it's too easy to get caught.
He's there just kind of waiting, but we'll take your money when it becomes time. The next person walks out of the tent, of the cart at this point, and you can see that as they do, they're just like kind of like looking around a little bit paranoid, and are starting to like zip and run down the hill towards the town. We have to get away! And the next person, you can see the next person in line sees that person run out scared, and they've kind of like they're halfway like walking into the tent, and they just turn around and decide not to go in. And as they kind of are stepping away and back towards the ogre just looks at them and shakes their head. No refunds, unfortunately. And they look mad, but then they look at the ogre, the towering ogre, and decide to back off. What's everyone else been doing? Jade's been up here.
Question, how tall is the ogre?
The ogre's about 10 to 12 feet tall.
Okay.
So he's size category large, if you're asking for that purpose.
I was more asking for relative height to Odowodus.
What is Odowodus?
Odowodus is 8'1".
Oh, okay. So, pardon me. He's got a little bit of a height advantage on you, but also he's definitely got a significant width advantage on you. This is a powerful creature. What are Jixk and Lorquin up to? Are you guys just kind of hanging out waiting, or are you in line for the fortune telling? What are you guys doing?
Well, Lorquin's going to get his fortune told.
Okay. So you hop in line behind Jade. Jixk, are you just kind of hanging on Odowodus right now, or?
Yes. It is a part of my personality. The first thing I do in a new place is note the locations of everything valuable or where such things could be hidden. So, is this just an ogre on a hill? Like, does he have a cart, or is there like a tent or something?
There's a big cart, and it has like a door and an opening, and it has like some walk-in space inside of it. 2 very large oxen pull it on either side. In terms of noting where valuable things are, do go ahead and make me a perception check. You have noted in watching the ogre that's basically taking money from people on the outside of the tent here, you can see that he has a pretty sturdy looking animal skin pouch that he keeps about his hip, that he's putting all of the gold that he's getting from the people working here on. And it looks weighted pretty well from a day's work. But at this point, the ogre looks towards you, Jade, who's next in line. All right, you may go in and now see Dr. Mystery.
All right. Do I pay now?
Pay now. That'll be 10 gold pieces.
She grumbles and puts 10 gold pieces into his hand.
All right. You give the 10 gold pieces, and you walk into the. You walk into the hut. As you step, or into the cart. As you step in, it is very dim. It is very dim inside. Do you have dark vision, Jade? Do you have dark vision?
Yep, dark vision.
You can see across the table. The inside is like devoid of light. You walk by a little chamber, and you can see that the ogre is currently just kind of like shuffling things around and getting things ready, assuming that you're going to be blinded in the complete dark as you walk in. And you can see them kind of awkwardly fumbling for a lantern that they're going to be lighting in a second. As you're just kind of standing there in the dark waiting. And as he's awkwardly, you hear him with kind of a great sort of affectation in his voice begin to speak. You come now to the court of Dr. Mystery. Speak now your name.
I thought you were the psychic. Shouldn't you already know my name?
I know many things, but mysteries have great power behind them. And for you to make sure that the fortune goes right, you need to speak your name. Of course, I already know it.
Okay, my name is Mizra.
Ah, Mizra. Go ahead and make a deception check.
Mm-hmm. Come on. Really? Oh, wait. What do you put? No, I don't. Never mind. I'm shutting up.
Okay. He looks at you for some time as you say this, and he goes, "Okay, Mizra." And he finally finds the torch that he's been stumbling around looking for you, and you see he lights a bunch of candles, and you can now see his face in color. He's wearing kind of a big, even more elaborate hat than the ogre outside was wearing. He's got like a big robe with stars on it, and he's kind of hunched over as he's looking at you. His face is painted in different places. And he goes, "Tell me, Mizra, what do you wish to know about?"
Oh, I don't know. The general stuff. I really don't care.
Just general sort of whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Can I have your palm for a moment?
I guess. She has them in her hand.
You can. He kind of like runs his hand over your hand for a moment. His hand kind of dwarfs yours, and he goes, "I can tell that you are a talented person of great ambition."
Uh-huh.
We will see now. Shall it be the bones for you, or the cards, or shall I spin? I think we will spin the wheel of fortune. And you see he brings up on the table, and he just has like this goofy looking wooden wheel with a bunch of different like pictures on it. Goes, "Place your hand upon the spinner and turn, and you will determine your fortune." Go ahead and roll me a d20. Roll me a d20 for the Wheel of Fortune.
I have a joke for this, but I'm not doing it. I'm going to behave, even though as soon as you said wheel, the first thing that came into my mind is morality. Oops, that was not the right roll.
14. All right, you spin the wheel. You see it go round and round. And as it kind of ends up in a particular spot, you see it lands on a picture of a horse, and he goes, "Oh, these are dark tidings indeed. You, Mizra, will be run over by a horse and die tonight. I am sorry to bear you this news. Please say goodbye to your family."
Really? Of all the ways that I could actually die, you're actually going to tell me I'm going to get ran over by a horse?
The spirits are unclear on the nature. It might not be a horse, but it will be an animal of some kind. This is what I have seen. I know you are taking this surprisingly well. Know that my fortunes are 100% accurate.
Yeah. Okay, in that case, you do realize I'm a cat.
Now, I can do a new fortune for you if you would like, but the new fortune costs 1,000 gold pieces.
Oh, no. I think I've heard enough.
Okay. I'm
She
sorry.
walks out and she's still cackling.
He
But
goes over
wait,
and kind of puts out the torches.
In the dark, can she like see anything suspicious while she's in there?
In the dark? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually make a perception check. Oh, 21? You can see a bunch of, as you're looking around the space, there's a bunch of, like, props and various, like, you can see his crystal balls and his decks of playing tarot cards and stuff like that. In the back room, there's a lot of, like, repeat props. Among them, you can see a bunch of, like, a bunch of the same weird-looking hat. You can see a bunch of horseshoes back there. And there's just a bunch of, like, boxes that each box contains a lot of one thing.
Can I tell what that one thing is?
I'm saying that, like, each one has a different single item, and they all have a lot of them. So, like I said, one of them is a bunch of fancy-looking hats. One of them is a bunch of horseshoes. There's another one that looks like it's just filled with apples, but they might not be real apples because they're just too healthy. They might be like wax apples or something.
Okay.
All right. And you see Jade walk out.
I'm still cackling. I'm laughing. I'm basically laughing hysterically.
Jade walks out. You guys all see her just dying laughing. I believe it was Lorquin who was next in line. If you wanted to go in, Lorquin?
Yes, I'll go in.
That'll be 10 gold pieces, please.
I hand him his 10 gold.
Thank you very much. You go on and step into the fortune teller's huts. Jade, as you come out, do you say anything to Odowodus and Tizix or Lorquin for that matter?
I say nothing to Lorquin. I'm gonna let him go in just so I can see what he thinks. But I'm gonna wait for Lorquin to come out before I really say anything.
Okay.
But can I go like behind? Can I see if I can go behind the tent?
Yeah. You can go ahead and step around to the back. The cart on the other side. I mean, it's painted very elaborately. There's not a lot there. There's a door on the other side. You can see that the window's blacked out, and the fortune teller's just sort of got it kind of covered over and locked up, because if you open the back door, you imagine that it would just let a lot of light in, because it's not that big of a cart. It's big enough for 2 ogres to probably sit in, and that's about it. But you're there. Lorquin, you also go ahead and step into the space. That same thing happens. The effect's probably a little bit better because you don't have dark vision, if I'm not mistaken, right, Lorquin?
Yes, I don't have that vision.
All right, so you walk into a dark space, and in the darkness, you hear a voice kind of speak up and call to you. Speak your name, traveler. I am Dr. Mystery, here to tell your fortune.
My name is Lorquin. It was a pleasure.
And then, all of a sudden, the candles kind of blaze to life as he lights up the space. He looks at you. What is it that you wish to know, Lorquin?
You are the master here.
Let me...
If you know the future, you know what I'm going to ask.
Let me stare into my crystal ball. He goes over and picks a crystal ball up of the side and looks at it for a while, and he goes, Lorquin, I can tell that you are a man of great talent and ambition. Is this correct?
I have been told so, yes.
I think for you, and he picks the wheel up that I described before, and he puts forth the Wheel of Fortunes. Would you like to spin on the Wheel of Fortune?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll a d20.
Yeah.
And he goes, and as it kind of lands on this, you see him kind of smile a little bit. As it lands on this space, you see him, just the corner of his mouth kind of smile a little bit, and then he like quickly brings it back down to like act like he's actually sad about this, and he goes, "A terrible fate that you will meet. You will be run over by a horse."
Oh, a horse, you say?
Yes, or not necessarily. It could be some type of animal. I'm not sure. And he actually chuckles as he says that a little bit, and then really is trying to maintain a serious face, as he seems to think this is funny for some reason. I am so sorry to tell you this news, Lorquin.
So you are saying I am going to die?
You will die a terrible death tonight. Be sure to tell any loved ones that you care about them, unless you'd like to try another fortune. I could try and change the whims of fate, but that would be 1,000 gold pieces.
Well, sadly, I do not have 1,000 gold pieces, but what I can tell you is, so far in my life, nothing has been able to kill me. So, I find it interesting that you foresee my death.
I only tell you what I see.
Is there anything on that wheel that wouldn't be a death?
The wheel contains many things. Unknowable things to you now. That will be all, Lorquin. And he kind of goes over and turns out the lights. It's getting kind of late in the day, but he seems to want you to leave. Do you go, Lorquin?
Yes, I go.
As you go in, you can see it's getting kind of on in the day. There's not really any other people that are hanging around looking to get their fortune told. So the other ogre kind of goes in, and that's going to have us close up Ogre and Ogre for the night. You two didn't want your fortune told, did you? Odowodus and Bizet.
Oh, well, that would work. We go on and on and on. What use is fortune to someone with years and years and years?
All right, then. And he goes into the cart and closes it. And you can just kind of, you hear just kind of a sigh of relief come from in, just like a, oh. And then the sounds of muted conversation of the two of them in the cart. It's been prophesied that the two of you are going to die tonight.
Jade comes back to the rest of the group. That's all crap. I'm going to die by getting ran over by some sort of animal, horse, whatever. I found it hilarious and laughed at him.
I think I
Yes,
got
that's
that
quite
bit.
funny. I got told the same thing.
Yeah, I think they're frauds. I don't know what they're doing to make their fortunes come true, but they're frauds.
I think I have a guess. I think they're making the fortunes come true. The two of them.
I was thinking that, but I had no proof. So, what do you guys want to do? Because I want that big bag of gold the other one had on him. It's only fair.
I want to find that boy we saw before.
You sure that's a good idea? I mean, you know, he sort of saw something about a tree falling on him.
Maybe
How better to protect against a tree than a tree?
So what?
You're gonna go look for the
You
boy.
guys want? I guess.
All right. At this point, like I said, it's been getting on in the night, and the sun kind of has gone down. Go ahead and make me just a survival check to see how long it takes you. You guys can all make one if you're interested in trying to track this guy down. Just go ahead and make a survival check to see how long it takes you to find him. All right. It's getting on into the night. It takes you a couple hours. You're looking down. You kind of go into the town that's at the base of the hill and search for a while. You ask around. You never caught his name, so it's a little tough to find him. But just by kind of happenstance, eventually as you're walking through the town square, you can see him just kind of like standing alone in the town square. And there is kind of like nobody around him. And he's just looking around the fountain that's kind of in the center of town and looking around. There's no kind of trees or anything here. And he goes, "Oh, it's all of you. Did you end up having your fortune read?"
Yeah, I did.
I don't know about you, but I figured if I'm here in the center of town, there's no trees, so how's a tree gonna hit me? I can probably change my fate.
As he says that, I look at Odowodus.
Oh no, he's back!
Back off a little bit.
Stay away! Stay away! He looks to you again, Odowodus.
I mean, if we want to play fate, I can always fall gently. You will have had a tree fall on you, but you will have survived.
No, I'm absolutely not going to play around. No. Nope. I was told a tree... Why would I invite a tree to fall on me when I was told that a tree falling on me would kill me today?
My young friend, I have a very high doubt that you are going to die anytime soon.
And...
Oh, wait. Look, I was told that an animal was going to run over and kill me. Hey, Bizet, if I lay down, you want to run over me?
What are your passive perceptions as you're saying this?
Mine's 11.
13.
15.
There's a secret roll that you guys won't know about that's about to happen. All right, all of you, in that case, notice, as you kind of ask that question over to Zuzip, you hear kind of a loud sound coming from one of the...
Oh, 1 second. There's a Zuzip nearby?
I'm sorry, to Tizix.
To Tizix,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
I mean, if there's a
I'm
Zuzip,
sorry.
that's fine. I mean, I'll talk to her, but...
Zuzip has
I
become
meant
so
Bizet,
core.
I'm sorry.
Oh wait, I thought I messed it up.
I mean, they're kind of prolific. Maybe there's a chance of encountering a Zuzip at any event.
There may be a Zuzip walking by. My apologies. Tizix, and all of you, you notice, you hear kind of a loud sort of clattering sound coming from a nearby rooftop, and you can see, starting to crest over the top of it, what looks like the top of not a full-sized, ancient, but a pretty decent-sized oak tree that's starting to climb up over the top of the roof.
That was not there before.
No, that wasn't.
It's moving and kind of bobbing up and down. And it, as you guys are just there kind of looking and stupefied, just kind of confused at this right now, you see it kind of continuing to, move up, and you can start to see that there's someone holding it, as there's two large hands that are braced around the bottom of it. You can see the woman from before, that you were talking to when you first arrived walking by, and she's wearing one of those big kind of floppy hats that you saw in those buckets in the back of the cart before Mizra, and she goes, "Wow, someone just came by and handed me that hat. Those fortune tellers were 100% correct. I have to spread the news that they're never wrong." And from the top of the roof, you're starting to see now cresting over the top of the roof what looks like an ogre carrying an oak tree who's aiming it down towards the person that's sitting on the fountain. They're a human and they can't see in the dark, so they don't seem to see this ogre that's sneaking up on them right now. The ogre sees all of you, though, standing around it, and they start to, like, double back a little bit, and maybe they're not going to throw the tree while everyone's looking.
Can we see the ogre?
Lorquin, it's getting to nighttime at this point, so Lorquin, you actually probably can't. The rest of you kind of see this for a brief moment. He seems to think he's being stealthy, but he is not. Anyone with dark vision, though, would probably see this.
Just a tiny
Can I go after him?
Maybe tell us.
Do you want to just, like, chase him down?
Yep. Feline agility.
In that case, roll for initiative for me. Oh!
Please tell us.
Oh, wow.
That's a quick ogre. They rolled a 0 on their stealth check before, but they're -1. The first to act in this case is absolutely you, Lorquin. Well, actually, technically, the first to act is Jade, who kind of springs things off. As you see Jade just start to go dashing forward and around towards the edge of the house where that ogre was. What do you do, Lorquin? You actually haven't seen this thing yet. Like, Jade, do you tell him what's going on?
Yes.
All right, yeah. So you've been kind of told what just happened, Lorquin. What would you like to do?
If I am told there is an ogre on top of the roof, I am going to shoot a light crossbow bolt towards that roof.
Okay, go ahead and make me an attack roll with disadvantage, because you can't really see what you're shooting at. 11. Unfortunately, the 11 is going to miss in this instance, because they also have some cover from the roof because they're a little bit down. So the crossbow flies up and you hear it just hit into a tile or something like that that's on the top of this roof right here. Anything
I
else
do
on your
have
turn?
extra attack as well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, well.
Yeah, unfortunately the 9 also will miss. You hear the same kind of report of striking the building. And the person that's on the ground that's kind of nervous here is like, kind of like, what's going on? Is there a tree? And as it gets to the ogre's turn...
Sorry, just one last thing. Just before my turn ends, I will say my Flame Tongue's command word, which is Thorn, so that my katana is ready.
Okay, you take out your katana and get it ready for the battle. That is going to bring us to the ogre, who is going to look down towards the person on the thing, and seeing that he's been made, he kind of acknowledges that all of you are now in the area and have kind of like seen him trying to toss a tree at this person. He's just going to go ahead and toss the tree at this guy. That's an 11 to hit. You just watch as the ogre looks down towards the guy sitting at the fountain, takes this tree, lifts it overhead, and just throws it down, and it crashes into this dude on the fountain. Which is an 11? Yeah, an 11 hits. And he's definitely dead. The ogre then just turns around as he you just hear him kind of shout out, "Fortune came true." He jumps down. He's going to take some fall damage as he jumps off the roof and onto the ground level. And you can hear his heavy footsteps. And then coming down from the street, you can hear him shout out, "Brother, all the horse ones are here too." And you begin to hear the sound of the ox cart from the fortune tellers running down the street. As those of you with dark vision can see barreling towards you, the other ogre riding the cart, driving it at full speed towards all of you in oxes after coming out from a corner. He can't get all the way to you on this first turn, though. That's going to bring us to Odowodus.
I just want to point out if it's within 40 feet, it's bright light and an additional 40 feet dim light as soon as I activated the Ragnarok aspect of my katana.
Okay, so you have the, yes, you'll be able to see. You'll be able to see pretty clearly now as you're continuing forward. As things blaze to light, and you can also see the cart coming towards you in that dim light as well. So you'll be good on that front. As now we move next in initiative to Odowodus.
How far off is this ogre? Just through the tree.
The one that just through the tree went down the backside of that house, so you basically have to run down a little bit of an alley, but you could get up to them on the other side of the house down that alley. You'd be a little bit separated from your friends. Actually, Jade's already there, pretty much, so. You could run in range, is the bottom line.
Yeah. Would it be dash or just
it would be
normal
just
movement?
regular movement. If you have 30 feet of movement, then yeah.
Yes. I am going to do that then. And, well, this ogre is a disgrace to the good name of Tree. And I will not stand for that. And it's just a very low, simmering rage, and I take out my greatsword and swing it at him.
Go ahead and make me an attack roll. 24 is definitely going to hit for 12 points of damage. You kind of cut across the stomach, and he just goes, "Oh, these ones are kind of tough." And he takes a bunch of damage. Anything else on your turn, Odowodus?
Nothing else I can do.
That's going to move us next in initiative to... Now it is Jade. What would you like to do, Jade?
Let's see. I'm gonna cast Poison Spray.
All right. He's going to make a Constitution saving throw. He's pretty good at that. He should have pretty good at 18. Yeah, unfortunately, he succeeds as he kind of like, achoo, sneezes a little bit as you hit him with the poison, but his ogre constitution is unaffected. Anything else on your turn, Jade?
Can I basically kind of move? Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. In that case, nope. I'm going to not do anything else.
All right, that's going to bring us over to Tizzix. What would you like to do, Tizzix?
This is a low light environment?
It is now actually bright and dim because the huge radius of light. There's 80 feet of light essentially coming out of Lorquin's sword.
Oh, okay. That's. I was gonna say I don't have dark vision as a bun, so.
It was until just now, but you're good now.
Okay. Well, if I was up in the boughs of Odowodus here, would that put me up on this ogre?
Yeah, you're in melee of the ogre.
Okay, then I believe I need to prevent the destruction of this poor lad down by the fountain here. So I will also try to I will try to stop this. Is there
the teenager that got hit with that tree? They definitely didn't make it. They took 15 tree damage as a regular.
Oh shoot! I'm sorry.
That's all good.
I really could do as a reaction. Well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait. Sorry, I'm just seeing like a spreading pool of blood and two legs underneath the.
Yeah, they did not make it, unfortunately.
Oh, boo. All right. Well, lay on pause isn't an option. All right. Well, then it seems like my vengeance is stirring in my bunny blood. Though a question on behalf of Tizzix here. As I see an ogre. I do have the hold person spell, but would Tissix know if hold person would work on an ogre?
I think Tissix would know that it wouldn't work on an ogre.
Okay.
Because you would know that they're not humanoids. Yeah.
No problem then. In that case, if I'm up in the boughs of Odowodus, and if we have someone who's bold enough to step up and try this here.
Ooh.
Pick on someone your own size, I say as I add an extra 2 or 3 feet to Odowodus because I'm a small bunnyfolk riding on the top.
Checks he fails. He's been compelled to duel you and Odowodus. And that means he can only attack you. Actually, technically he has to attack just you, not even Odowodus. Or he has disadvantage on the attack roll, correct?
Yes.
All right. Anything else on your turn, Tissix?
No.
All right, that's going to bring us back to the top of the initiative, which is going to be Lorquin. What would you like to do?
How far away am I from the ogre?
You are within walking distance of either the ogre on the cart that's charging towards where you and Jade are, actually where just you are now, or you could walk 30 feet down the alley and go over to where everyone else is who are battling the ogre that kind of just jumped off the roof.
I'll go 30 feet down the alley towards the ogre that just jumped off the roof.
All right, so all of you are now kind of in this alley battling the ogre. You run down. You can get up right next to him.
Yep, I'm going to use an action to use my Divine Rod on my Mithril Katana, which I have named Amaterasu, the Japanese stun god.
Okay. So you ignite the Mithril Katana of Rectitude, and what do you do with it?
Well, now I am going to...
Oh, just to be clear, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that would end it. If you attack the one that Tissix is battling right now, that would end his compelled duel.
Oh.
Just so you know that.
Ah, that's fine. Because this ogre is about to be under a very unfortunate circumstance. As, although that took my action, I'm going to use action shots.
Oh.
And let me just check something right now. I'm going to use a bonus action to Fighting Spirit.
Okay.
And I am going to attack this ogre.
Okay.
So, first up that.
Go ahead and make those attack rolls. As you action surge, Fighting Spirit, activate this power in your sword, a ton of stuff happens all at once.
That and offhand that.
Oh, I'm sorry, the attack rolls, they weren't coming up for me for a little bit there. I couldn't see them. So, 22 and 22. Wait, do you actually get 3 attacks?
I'm dual wielding my katanas right now. Offhand attack.
I don't think you can dual wield those because they're not light weapons.
Really?
And you bonus action Fighting Spirit as well. So even if you could dual wield, you couldn't second
but the first 2 with the Mithril Katana of Rectitude are going to hit. Go ahead and roll damage with that. 22 definitely hits this big beefy. Oh my god.
First one.
And the second one.
Second one.
That's going to be 27 points of damage. He'd already taken 12 from before. He is not looking great at this point, as your Mithril Katana just 2 mighty swings cuts through. And then I believe at the I believe at the start of his turn, he takes another big chunk of damage as well from
Yes, he needs to succeed
from
a
the
DC 15 Wisdom saving throw. I'll take 3d8 radiant damage.
and it is his turn, so he's going to go ahead and make that Wisdom saving throw, which he fails. So go ahead and roll that 3d8 damage. 14. Oh my goodness. So all said and done, you just did 41 points of damage to this ogre. So you slash twice with your mithril katana, and then just holy light begins to radiate down from above, and you see the ogre just kind of as he begins to burn in holy fire, and he is within an inch of his life. The ogre is almost completely defeated.
You made me break my promise.
As you unleash basically everything in your arsenal. It's his turn. He didn't quite die, so he is going to whip around and strike at you, Tizix, from your compelled duel. Oh my goodness!
Would my attacks not break the compelled duel?
Oh yes, your attack's broken. Well, he strikes at Tizix for 19 points of bludgeoning damage. Woof.
Noted.
And then he's going to whip around and also make an attack against you, Lorquin. Would a 15 hit?
No.
And you hear from over by the cart, you hear the other go, "He's going to duck, brother!" As he's going to use his portent, as he does have some actual divination abilities, to make his roll a 17. That's a 23 to hit. Would a 23 to hit?
Yes, that would hit me.
So you are going to take 12 points of bludgeoning damage. And that's all for that ogre's turn. The other ogre is going to wheel their ox cart around and begin barreling towards all of you. You are literally all in this alley, so I need all of you to make a dexterity saving throw to not get run over and die to animals. Also, this ogre is going to make a dexterity saving throw as well, because he's also in the alley. And he fails. And Jade as well. Jade and Tizix both succeed. Odowodus and the ogre. The ogre gets run over by the cart. You hear the other one go, "Sorry, brother. I'll get you back." As he dies to being run over by his own brother because he was at a sliver of health. But those of you who failed that save are going to take, oh man, not much, only 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Bludgeoning?
Yeah. As the cart just crashes into you, and you get kind of knocked and slammed around. You also get knocked back to the end of the alley as he passes through. And that's all for his turn.
Wait,
as
did
you
that
run the ox
fail
cart.
the save, or?
Yeah, you would fail at 11. So you take another 6 points of bludgeoning damage. The people who succeeded take no damage. You just dodge completely out of the way. Tizix, I imagine you do like a cool backflip on Odowodus' shoulders and then re-land on Odowodus' shoulders.
Naturally.
Yes. And that's all for their turn. That's
Clear. Are we at the end of the alley with the
You're now at
ogre,
the
or
end
at the far end?
You're now with the ogre that you were just fighting a second ago is dead on the ground, trampled by the cart. You are now at the end of the alley with the cart, which is kind of curved and is trying to run away from you again to line up another one of those cart runs. As we move to your turn, Odowodus.
I'm going to swing at this ogre.
Go ahead and make an attack roll. 19 will
19
hit.
for 18.
You go over and they're in the cart, kind of running away from you, but you're like chasing down the side of the cart. You swing your arm upward, strike into them. Oh no, Dr. Mystery doesn't feel too great about that one. That's 18 points of damage. Anything else on your turn?
And at the very end of the at the very end of the alley, I am going to take root.
Oh, you're gonna run past him and just root yourself in front. I
Yes.
love that. That's badass as hell. All right, that's going to bring us next in initiative to Jade. What would you like to do, Jade?
How far is that nice, lovely cart?
The cart is actually pretty much adjacent to you. You can just run right up to it. It's hard to abstract the way the cart moves because it should be like moving more fluidly, but it's adjacent to you right now.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to hop on the cart and basically from behind Mr. Dummy, and I swear my computer just likes messing with me. And I'm thinking, enough with the nice, lovely playing around. I'm just going to hit him. Now,
Go ahead and make me an acrobatics check to jump onto the moving cart. That's not trivial, I don't think.
okay.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me that acrobatics. And then go ahead and make your attack. 16, not a problem. You gracefully flip up onto the cart, and you go and hop up. You're right behind him in the cart now. As you say that, he kind of looks over as he looks over at you. I have a question, Miser. Would you like to use your inspiration that you have?
Yes, I definitely like to use my inspiration on that one.
It's like a great time to use.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll that attack again.
Thank you.
And you also currently have an ally, so you can do sneak attack as well. Go ahead and roll damage.
I was just about to ask that question.
Yep, you are good on the ally front. 21 points of damage. You hop into the cart, cut him kind of around the back. He's leaning forward trying to operate the cart. He can't really dodge it. He takes a huge chunk of damage. Anything else on your turn, Misra?
Hold on. Can I cast a spell? Checking. Come on, be nice and hurry up. Or I could just ask you guys. I couldn't cast Mage Hand, could I? To try and stop that. Cart.
Not all on this turn. You've already used your action.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, never mind.
But you're on the cart next to him, and we move now to Tizix. You are right in front of the charging cart with Odowodus, who's rooted into the ground in front of it. What would you like to do, Tizix?
Am I in front of Odowodus or am I on Odowodus?
That can be your choice.
Okay, I'll be on Odowodus.
All right.
And as Odowodus is T-posing over this ogre in the alleyway, I'm gonna touch Odowodus with my little twitchy bunny nose and cast Heroism on Odowodus.
Excellent. Odowodus, you feel any fear and doubt that you had in your mind vanishes as Tizix places this magical spell upon you. Anything else on your turn, Tizix?
That's all.
It's going to bring us back around to the top. Lorquin, what would you like to do?
How far away am I from the ogre?
You got knocked forward with the cart too, so you're also right up next to it.
Oh, then I'm just going to attack him.
Yeah, go ahead and make an attack roll. Or a couple attack rolls.
Just checking.
Just to be clear, what type of weapons are your katanas? Are those long swords or?
No long swords, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Looking at-
The long swords you wouldn't be able to. If they were
Yeah.
short swords, you can do it. Yeah, so go ahead and make me those attack rolls.
Then I'm just going to attack with the Mythical Katana, please.
Oh! Oh god, alright, roll damage. Oh, the...
Frost and Delta 6.
Jesus, alright, so that's going to be 8 and 13, 26 points of damage. 2 more mighty swings with your mithril katana cut across the kind of the belly of the ogre, and That's going to bring us to the ogre's turn again, and at the start of the turn, he's going to make a wisdom saving throw, which will be the difference between life and death for him. You could roll a 3. Go ahead and roll me that 3d8. But you did not roll a 3. Would you care to describe your killing blow on this ogre in the still moving cart?
As the daylight shines on him, I will say to him, "It is very unfortunate that you decided that you would try and kill me. I did tell you. I have not died yet, and I am not planning to."
But you were gonna get run over by a horse! As the holy light kind of finishes him off. The cart, however, that's not gonna end us, as the cart's just now running wild through the center of the street. It is about to crash forward and into you, Odowodus. You can't be moved, right?
I'm immune to the prone condition and cannot be moved.
You are going to take... that's again not bad. Not too bad at all.
2 points of bludgeoning.
You are going to take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as this ox cart just hits into you and just stops dead in its tracks. You just bend back ever so slightly and remain perfectly in place. And with that, these false fortune tellers that were literally just murderers, essentially just extortionist murderers, you have successfully defeated them.
Am I throwing out the cart by any chance?
Make a dex save.
I shouldn't have asked this. Come on.
Whoop.
There it goes. No, my computer's just being a pain. And...
Hey!
That's
You are kind of tossed forward, and you do like a cool, like double flip, agile cat landing on 3 points in hands, taking no damage as you get thrown out of the cart. But with that, the fortune tellers are successfully defeated. You have dealt with the threat, and you are able to collect your reward from the town. A reward which totals, I believe, it is, for all of you, 200 Bartholomew bucks. Each of you gain 1 point of experience, and you have successfully completed this ogre and ogre adventure. Congratulations, heroes. That's going to bring us to the end, but before we end, I would have that ever-important question. Would any of you like to shop?
No thanks.
No.
Luck be damned. Yes.
Oh! All right. You return to the shop not too long later. Bartholomew greets. Greetings, Jade. I trust that everything went well upon your adventure this afternoon. Or evening, I suppose.
Yeah, the next time you give us some Frost Prophet fortune tellers, can we just kill them instead?
I think that's what you did, actually. You did just kill them.
No. Yeah, I'm talking about without all the investigating. They're nothing but charlatans and scammers.
You have to make sure, I suppose, but I trust your guidance should it come up again. I trust your judgment on the matter, but I detect that you have something that you would like to purchase.
I want something good out the bag. And something that Sataria won't take.
Very well. Go ahead and roll me a D1000, and as with everyone, I wish you the absolute best of luck.
Someone roll that for me. My computer just decided it wanted to freeze.
Would you like me to roll that for you, Miss Ra?
Please.
Mr. Ra, you have rolled. Oh no, a 9!
Oh well.
Sometimes
This could be something either really good or something really bad.
it's
Really bad.
more likely it's something just really.
Hey, there are some good things in the 9s.
Oh no. That's so BM for just you specifically, Jade. You reach into the bag. I bet you Jade will do something cool with this, though. You reach into the bag, and you find... You pick up the bag, and it's jingling very loudly, and you think that you found just a bag of money. And as you take it out and look it up, it jingles, but it's empty. And it's one of those bags that Bartholomew uses to reward boss battle people that just make it sound like they have coins in them, even though they're empty. So you've gained a jingling bag, but with no money inside of it. And Bartholomew looks up at you.
We can do that. I can do something with that.
Yes, that one, we make a lot of those, and I keep them all in the bag. Usually people just kind of throw them away afterwards, but enjoy the bag. So congratulations on your empty bag of coins.
I can do something with that, though.
I think you, more than most people, have a use for that particular item. But I think with that, that's everyone we need to shop. So we'll be back in just a moment with our second adventure. I'm excited to see it. I will see you all very soon.